peek at tonight's starting lineups for these two clubs. You know about DJ Newbill, Shep Garner, celebrating his 19th birthday today, the true freshman. And a change for Dan D'Antoni and Marshall. Alexa Nikolic into the starting lineup. Justin Edmonds, first ever win for Marshall against Penn State. Or will Penn State make it 7 in a row? Set to throw it up here, and we are underway. And the tip goes to the Nittany Lions, and that's Shep Garner, big true freshman, who has played a big role for Coach Chambers this year.
Made the free throws in their last game against Virginia Tech to win it and seal the victory.
That's Travis, one of their captains. And now Newbill. Garner's going to launch the first shot, no good. And Sine pulls away the rebound. Dribble penetration attempt, foiled by Garner. Sine's going to try it from deep. That's no good, and Travis doing what he does best, and that's rebound.
Penn State wants to push opportunity break team. They don't overdo it.
Drive from Travis, and we're going to have a whistle on our first foul. The foul's going to be on Sine as you get a good look at Patrick Chambers doing a nice job in his 4th year at the helm.
No doubt about that. Very, very tough competitor. He's instilling that in his team.
They'll try Travis on a mid-post. Mishandled there by Brandon Taylor.
They try to push baseline. It's dangerous when Newbill has it.
Another three for Garner, no good, and early going. A nice shot for the Herd on the backboard. That'll be key throughout the course of this game. Here's Loop, their best shooter, and he knocks it down.
2 for 10 in the last game. Great start for the Loop. Full court pressure right now on the part of the Thundering Herd. They want to speed the game up and get open threes.
Well, he's so critical, Bob, to get Loop off early. They have not shot the ball well from distance of late.
Loop and Johnson in the last game, they're the best three-point shooters. They were 2 for 16 combined.
Matchup of Taylor's, and a little whirly-bird jump hook is down for Brandon Taylor. He averages 10 a game.
Man-to-man defense by both teams. The variety is different, however. Marshall tries to push you. Penn State tries to deny you.
Another three up and down for Justin Edmonds.
Edmonds is a player that has not been used very much this year. And in the last game of South Carolina, he was the best player on the floor. 3 for 5 from the field. Had 9 points in the game. Freshman point guard, that's not always a good thing. Garner's been good.
Newbill left it short, and that's a shot Marshall will give Newbill. They want to run. Edmonds on the right side. He'll fire again, and that one not even close. Self-defense rebound for Travis.
Now we know why he wasn't playing earlier in the year.
Drop for Taylor. Travis will float it up. That's short. Offensive rebound for the 7-footer. That's Dickerson.
Quality shots not there so far for the Nittany Lions.
Of course, Newbill out top. Now, he is most comfortable when he is head down and headed to the basket. They've done a nice job to keep him out of the lane early. Hand check out front. That's going to be on Nikolic. And there's Dan D'Antoni. First season back at his alma mater, was an outstanding player here. He's from Mullins, West Virginia, the older of the two D'Antoni brothers.
Has never coached in college other than at Marshall as a graduate assistant for the freshman team. 30 years at Socastee High School in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the rest of the time in the NBA with the Suns, the Knicks, and the Lakers.
This club has an early lead as Garner puts it on the bounce. Good look for Taylor. That one's not even close. And the rebound sealed away there by Edmonds, who's been active. Here's the youngster, Nikolic. A lot of elbows and kneecaps for the young man. He sprouted up to nearly 6'7". Edmonds again, and a whistle on that shot. And that's going to be foul on Garner on the three-point shot. And It's the type of foul that drove you nuts as a head coach.
You always hear people say never foul the three-point shooter, but if you're being aggressive, you know, sometimes it's going to happen in a game. Edmonds is not a guy that you would try to do that with because his percentage from three is not very good.
Well, Marshall has not been very good at the free throw line as a rule this year. This one no good. Edmonds just 3 for 9. He missed all of last year with a torn ACL. As you get a good look at John Johnson, a senior out of Philadelphia. One out of two, and the lead is 5 now for the Thundering Herd. One remaining for Edmonds. Interesting play in the last game for Penn State against Virginia Tech when 1-on-1 situation. The Hokies fell asleep. Shep Garner grabbed the miss and laid it in uncontested.
Easiest basket in college basketball so far this year. Full court pressure. Full court pressure I like right here. They have length. They're trying to push the tempo.
Newville can do that with an exclamation point.
24 a game. He scores a lot of ways. Getting him in the open floor is dangerous.
Looking for Sine, couldn't hold on to it, and here come the Lions again. Last touch by Penn State.
When you get through the press, you want to get the ball to a guy who can do something with it. That man, but tonight, pretty good. Oddly enough, Louisville, they were 10-10 after the first time out. Here they lead 8-4.
A different look for Penn State coming out of the break.
1-2-2, three-quarter court trap. They want to trap you at the 10-second line. Loop is open. Like what Patrick Chambers did at the timeout. They're keeping it on the sideline again. Try to do not allow the team to reverse it as much as you can.
Newville with one bounce, his little fadeaway. He loves that mid-range shot.
Get out of here, man.
Nikolic the other way, doesn't shoot much. Misses here, peeled off by Taylor.
Nikolic is a 6'7" point guard from Serbia, only a freshman. He has talent.
It's Donovan Jackson to the ball game. Had a big game against Marshall last year. Was in there for a while, no good from short range, battling for it. Ball's going to stay with the Nittany Lions, and Bob, our keys to the game for the Herd.
Find perimeter shooters, Loop and Johnson. You got to have fewer than 13 turnovers. They had 19 in their last game. Not good.
Well, they reversed the call. Patrick Chambers doesn't like it as you get a good look at him. And the Herd will have the basketball. Nikolic, the lanky youngster out front. One of two Serbian natives on this roster.
I like this kid's game. He's a little careless, but he loves the bounce. He's got moves.
Sine with the left hand. No good. It's all Nittany Lions on the backboards.
Neither team going to the offensive glass at all in this game so far, and that's something that the Nittany Lions should be doing.
That's Taylor attacking the rim, and it'll fall for him. That'll tie things up at 8.
Kind little rim that time, huh? I thought that was bouncing out.
Well, high arching three, but no pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. And here comes Newville. Get the rear carrying violation. Travis back in for the Nittany Lions as we take a look at their keys to the game.
They have to find complementary scorers besides Newville. He averages 24. They got to get some other guys involved, and they've got to own the glass, which they're not doing so far in this game. Penn State, the drive, the nice little pull-up. When you push a guy to the sideline, there's a seam, and he found it nicely. Terrific play by Brandon Taylor there. You know, a pull-up is a hard shot. You know, your body is carrying you forward. Lots of times guys shoot it, and it goes long.
Their last two hoops coming in pull-up variety. They lob this one, and Cambola finishes.
I was here for the South Carolina game, and Marshall looks like a completely different team than it did then. They were uncertain of themselves. They are assertive on offense in this one.
John Johnson, baseline drive, shuffles it off to Jack. Nothing easy in there right now. Gets it back. Johnson out of the corner, good.
transfer from Pittsburgh. Played a little bit last year. First sub off the bench at the guard spot.
Trying to answer. Can't get it done off the back of the iron. Foul's going to be on Edmonds on the back. Take a look.
This is a thing of beauty. Pick and roll. Screen your man. Go to the basket. Throw it up there. Very, very well done. This is hard to defend. All post players. No guards involved in that play.
Bob, we talked about Taylor off the top as a scorer and a rebounder. He does lead this club in assists as well, so he's uniquely suited to run that play.
Yeah, and that's a bad sign, really, when a guy like that is your leading scorer. And they've had problems at the point guard. Last year they had a terrific player named Kareem Canty transferred to Auburn. So now they have decided on Alaska Nikolic to be their point guard.
Johnson kicks to Travis, top of the key. No good that time. And again, an offensive rebound for the Nittany Lions. Dipsy New won't go. It's cleared out by Taylor. He'll lead the break.
Look at his vision. Has his head up. That's why he's such a good passer. Sees the floor.
Pulls his way into the lane and right to the free throw lane.
Heads up, splits the defense. Strong gets fouled by both guys, but you only get 2 free throws, not 4 when 2 guys foul you. Those are his numbers. Very, very good. 16 points, 9.3. 3-point percentage is average. You know, you really want it up around 34 or 35 and higher to be thought of as an outstanding 3-point shooter.
Knocks down the first to tie the game, and you get a good look at DeVince Boykins, giving Alexa Nikolic a break.
Boykins was the starting point guard for the first couple of games, and Nikolic took his place. I think, frankly, they play a little bit better with the taller point guard in there.
1 out of 2 in the Lions push with Thorpe. Can't get it to go. Boykins lost his footing, kept the ball. And off to Taylor. You'll see a lot of the tenets of the offense that Mike D'Antoni's Phoenix Suns ran in the half court in the NBA. Cambola has all sorts of time. Finally gets it up, no good, and Travis again. Thorpe bangs right into Taylor. Offensive foul.
The substitute guards for the Nittany Lions are playing out of control. Missing a lot of easy shots close to the basket. This clearly is not the way to go. Nothing there at all. And Taylor in the right place at the right time. I don't even think he tried to take the charge.
Well, Thorpe's a bolt of energy guy off the bench, but poor decision there. We're still tied at 11. So Marshall has avoided the early hole.
Indeed, and they have been in it very often this year, so this is very good news.
Cambola back to Tamron Manning. Back inside Cambola, a touch pass to the corner. Good look, and it's down.
That is a thing of beauty.
You wanted them to find perimeter shooters. They found Jay Johnson.
Indeed. Loop has made one. Taylor's made one.
And the birthday boy Garner, they go to Travis on the block. Looking for a cutter, it's tipped away. Johnson answers.
Johnson's better from 3 than he is taking the ball to the basket. Being as small as he is, he gets in it among the trees. It's a problem.
Boykins in the corner, though, reset. Cambola trying to wrap that ball back around to Boykins. A lot of contact and a blocking foul will be charged on Ross Travers. So there's going to be a timeout on the floor.
We got action. NBA look. Many years in that league. Sometimes I think he's looking out there thinking, I wish I had Steve Nash out here.
Sometimes. But all the time. Here's Taylor. He's had a strong start. Lob for Cambola this time. Shep Garner was there to break it up.
Yeah, but I like the out-of-bounds play. He designed it in the timeout. It was a good look. Cambola had a dunk earlier. Good thinking. Ball's in the middle of the floor. They play solid. As soon as the ball goes to the sideline, they're going to force it, and they want to push you to the baseline.
Taylor squares up. on Cambola. He'll settle for that little jumper, no good. The other Taylor clears the board.
Yeah, that was not a good shot by Brandon Taylor. Guy right up on him, 3 inches taller than him.
Ryan Taylor throws up a tough shot, no good. Rebound tipped out by Dickerson. It'll stay with the Herd. Dickerson, an interesting player. He's long, 7 foot 1 inches tall. He played at IMG Academy, and he can eat up some space.
They played better with him in the game against Virginia Tech.
That is deep. Johnson is from Versailles, Kentucky, and he shot that one from nearly across the border. There's that sideline push that Bob illustrated early, and it's worked to good effect in the early going.
Jay Johnson was 0 for 6 in the last game against South Carolina. The energy level of this Thundering Herd team is palpable, and the fans are into it.
Newbill picks clean. Poked away by the Thundering Herd. Johnson feeling it. Whips it out to Cambola. Manning, one of those candidates to play the point. Boykins hard. Met at the rim by Dickerson.
Well, Johnson in the last game was 0 for 6 from deep, Chris. And in this game, you're measuring it. He had no doubt in his mind that he was letting that one fly. I'm telling you, between the last game and this game, they took some confidence pills because they are playing much, much better.
Already 4 3-pointers down from Marshall. They make about 6 a game. Boykins misfires on the first attempt. Take a look at how he got there.
Hard drive. He was going to try to dunk this. And Dickerson met him there. Good foul. Don't want to give up an easy layup like that.
Missed opportunity for the Thundering Herd.
Paid off, right? In that case, the foul was a good thing. Thundering Herd doing a good job on the glass. Nittany Lions not getting there. And they've been a little careless with the ball and some ill-advised plays like that.
That's not where Dickerson is at home, top of the key. Wide open look for Taylor. Too strong.
Ross Travis, number 43 for Penn State, has not been involved at all in this game so far. Undersized 4-man.
Another one for Johnson, no good. Side iron, but Boykins keeps it alive for the Herd.
Johnson does not have a conscience. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes not.
Calling for the screen. Tried from behind the screen, though. But Cambola working hard inside.
Yes, indeed. You said it accurately. Look how widespread they are. Nobody in the lane. No players in white in the green at all. They like to clear that lane for driving purposes like this.
Taylor on Taylor, and it's blocked by the help side defense from Newbill. Two-way player. Garner for Travis, and Travis lays it up and in.
Finally. They've been looking for him to get involved. This guy's a good player, and he's been invisible so far.
Yeah, he had 20 against the Herd last year. That's a career best.
Indeed.
See, all sorts of different lineups for Marshall from Dan D'Antoni, and expect that to continue.
Yeah, he's experimenting, clearly.
High post, good high-low game, but Cambola couldn't handle it.
Well, Penn State got Travis involved finally. The baseline's not been a problem so far for Marshall. Last game they were. Nittany Lions not forcing much so far. Jay Johnson's got 6.
And a foul right off the inbound is going to be on the senior Travis. Non-shooting foul. 17-16 Marshall. Now the Marshall football team set this campus on its ear earlier this afternoon. Many of the folks who sat through that one in the rain are now inside comfortable confines of the Cam Henderson Center.
They have very good fans here. Even when the team is struggling, they stay with them.
And Alexa Nicolet
He's been on the bench a long time.
Muscled off the ball that time. Bit of a pile up there in the paint. Loop took the tumble, but no bucket from Newbill.
You know, in the last game, Patrick Chambers' teams had 17 turnovers. They were only 4 of 23 and only 17 of 30. And they won, okay? I mean, and they were playing Virginia Tech. So they've struggled in this game in a similar fashion so far. They've turned the ball over when they shouldn't. They're not making the shots, the easy shots. And so far, it's been a struggle for the Nittany Lions here. A team they handled easily last season.
It's Donovan Jack blocked at the rim. Nikolic the other way. Lee Johnson wants to fire and set inside. Lost the handle going up. I'd like that one back, Bob.
Yes, indeed. Action close to the basket. They attacked him. He got a little nervous.
First look at Peyton Banks. No bank necessary for the freshman from Orange, California.
Reputed shooter. Has not shown it up until just then.
The answer not good. Off the back iron and glass and bodies tumbling. And you mentioned Banks 0 for 6 in his career from behind the arc before this shot.
He's a confident player and he has a reputation as a shooter. He's a three-man. They can use him in support of Newbill. Notice how 3 guys were on Newbill, so he's wide open. And as a result, knocks it in. Patrick Chambers has to build confidence in that young man in your screen right there. He could be an important player for this team going forward.
Got the size at 6'6", 220, good touch.
Yep, and he's a three-man.
No good. Marshall can't capitalize at the line yet again. That's been a story for Dan D'Antoni.
It's been a story for Marshall for the last several years. They've been at the low end of the totem pole in free throw shooting for the last couple of years.
Banks barreling right down into the lane, and he's going to get the offensive foul. Well, you mentioned it, Bob, and the numbers will back it up. This has been a horrible program in terms of shooting free throws dating back to the 2011 season.
Yeah, and from last year to this year, they've improved 62 to 64. Obviously, you want to be in the 70s as a team, and that rears its head in end-game situations. The Lions have been in a lot of close games this year, so they have won those close games. Marshall, that could be a problem for them going down the line here.
Long rebound leads to a leak out. And a bucket. Saw that a lot against South Carolina. Trouble with transition defense from Marshall.
Indeed.
Sine working for position inside. Ball kept alive by Cambola. Finally pulled out of there by Julian Moore, freshman from Philly.
Nobody gets back for Marshall on this breakout play. Right there, Alexa should be back, but he's back by himself. 2-on-1, easy 2. Penn State's got to get a lot more of that action going, as you mentioned, like South Carolina did, because in the half court, D'Antoni's defense has been very good.
They've held Newbill, this man, pretty much in check. One of the leading scorers in the nation.
He actually has more points than anybody in the nation. He's third in average at 24. He tries to get his teammates involved, but when it's clutch time, he just takes over the game.
Taylor attacking the rim, a kick out. Reverse the ball, shot clock is winding down. It's a 3. It's a 2. He's got to launch. Can't get it, kept alive, but that's going to be a violation.
I think we got a push off.
Nope, you're right. You mentioned Newbill. Total points, yeah, he's at the top of the list. As for points per game, AJ, DJ in the middle. You should have called yourself maybe BJ, gone by your initials if you wanted to score more.
And Rousey from UNC Asheville, 26.7 a game, had 30-something against South Carolina.
Yeah, the Hawes kid from BYU, a heck of a player.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's been there a long time, scoring points. Not quite Jimmer Fredette. DJ Newbill not getting into it so far. He's only taken 3 shots. He's in a conundrum a little bit with this team because he's trying to get more help, and you have to have that when Big Ten starts, and in any game, really. But at the other side of things, when they're struggling, I think he's got to have the mentality that he's just going to go. And he can take it off the dribble and score. He's powerful. He can get to the line. When they are struggling, this is very interesting. First half 12, second half 34 when it mattered, right? So that, I think, is an example of what I'm talking about here. Tries to get everybody involved. Now, you notice he's handling the basketball here. He's going to draw a crowd anytime there's a screen.
Trying to create for others early, see who's maybe feeling the hot hand on a given night. Inside for more, and he rolls it over the top of the hoop.
Nice play. I'm impressed with Banks. He made a nice pass there. Some of the younger players. Moore is a redshirt freshman.
There's Luke, a rare two-point shot for Austin Luke. Bob, that's just the 6th two-point attempt for Luke this year.
Yeah, he's a specialist. Let's watch the defense. The white shirts, anytime there's a screen, I think Newbill would be better off without a screen. As soon as he goes over a screen, he draws lots of people.
Dribble out of bounds. Marshall lingering.
I like the herd today.
Let's go. Hey, herd on three. 1, 2, 3.
So there you have it. Solid D he's looking for. Also looking for perhaps something out of the high post here in this offensive possession. You heard the good West Virginia drawl of Dan D'Antoni.
Mullins, West Virginia native.
There's that high-low action. Sine couldn't keep it cleanly. Extra pass for Johnson. He's not shy. He'll roll it up and in.
Good offensive player. He's going to help this team. They need him.
See if that exhaustion to solid D pays dividends here as the herd within one.
Johnson's in his first year with Marshall. Junior college player. He's a junior, but first year with this team. Notice how they push to the sideline, and you can trap somebody there.
Fouls on the herd. Let's take a look at them on the offensive end.
But right here, the drive all the way to the basket, and no resistance whatsoever given by Moore. He was concerned about Sane going to the offensive glass. Clear path for Johnson.
Taylor triggers inbound. That's Moore. Shep Garner back in the contest. He has been very quiet.
Nice cross-court pass.
Taylor has a good look at it, and he rattles that one home.
That's great vision by Garner, the freshman. When you get pushed to the sideline, they're trying to trap over there like Villanova does a lot. And he threw it all the way cross-court pass. Nicely done.
Johnson and Luke, a two-man game. Taylor asking for help from young Serb teammate. Shot clock under 10. Johnson's the guy who wants it. Steps back. Too strong. Right into the hands of the other Johnson, John Johnson. Now Shep Garner. Penn State got away with a bump on the perimeter. Let's take a look at that good offense from the Nittany Lions last time down.
They trap on one sideline. He throws it all the way across to the other side. Look at that rotation. That's the best shot that Brandon Taylor's taken so far. He's shot a couple of screwballs up there. That one looked pretty good.
You know, the pass, Bob, impressed me in that it was a catchable pass for a shooter right in the breadbasket.
Indeed. Good point. Taylor's been absent lately from the offense. Number 25 with the ball here.
The baseline. They'll exchange. He'll go all the way to the rim and all the way to the floor. He'll shoot free throws. A lot of that two-man game that we see Dan D'Antoni bringing to Huntington from the NBA. A lot of handoffs, slip screens. Good look at Dan. I asked him for some pronunciations earlier. He said, I can't pronounce them in English. I only pronounce them in West Virginia.
I was at practice one day this week with this team, and one of the younger players made a mistake. And he didn't get mad. He might have been mad, but he didn't sound mad. He said, son, I'm going to adopt you so I can spend more time teaching you how to play this game. It wasn't Ryan Taylor, by the way.
Taylor gets 1 out of 2.
Johnson's got it.
Johnson's going to go to the line to try to get it. Boy, he is aggressive. When he gets that ball in the wing, he's going all the way to the 10.
Yeah, he's got some speed. Played at Pittsburgh, and he's played last year here. He was one of those half-year transfer type guys. So this is his first real full year, and his role is as a backup guard at the 1 and 2 spot, getting a lot of minutes.
Takes the first. And he is a very good free throw at 76%. He and Geno Thorpe, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, kind of sharing that Energizer bunny rolled off the bench for that man. Patrick Chambers. Both free throws good. And the lead balloons now out to 5 for Penn State.
It's been a gradual thing here, right? No spurts, more just playing solid both ends. Penn State's defense and their hands have improved in the second part of the first half.
And to finish the first half on a high note, no good there from Cambola.
A lot of guys involved for Penn State, which is a good thing. Newbill not dominating.
Taylor wants another look at it, and he knocks it down.
When he's got space, he looks better, doesn't he? Lost a lot of weight from his freshman year to now his junior year. More athletic than he used to be.
Lead is up to 8. Critical last minute here for the Thundering Herd. Taylor, soft jumper no good. They've been pushing the pace, have the Nittany Lions all game long.
That's it.
Taylor again. Can he make it 3 in a row? No good. Long rebound, though, kept alive by Newbill. Soft floater, no good back out. Nicolak trying to run.
We're fatigued right now, both teams.
Nicolak, a little floater, won't find the rim. But he will draw the foul from Shep Garner, so the lanky freshman will have a chance. Take a look at drive and kick.
3-point shots available. When you push it to the sideline, the pass back out front is available. And Brandon Taylor taking advantage the last couple of possessions.
That's a recurring theme. Marshall with missed opportunities at the free throw line.
Look at how long the arms are of our free throw shooter. Take a look at his arms. He has a 7'1" wingspan. He's a 6'7" point guard, only a freshman.
Well, he makes the second. That's 6 out of 14 at the line for Marshall. Penn State, 2 for 2.
That's good and bad. They made both. They are not getting there enough. Patrick Chambers takes time out right here, Chris, because if he doesn't, he's going to lose it for the second half.
We'll take a break. Holiday Hoop here. Conference USA football champs, the goalpost headed for the Ohio River last we saw it. Perhaps the last possession of the half. And the youngster Banks is back in.
That's because he's a shooter. Newbill's going to try to create. They will collapse on him, in which case he needs to dish to someone.
Pulls up, lets it fly. Won't go. The Herd have to let it fly. Nearly good. It's off the front of the rim. And the Nittany Lions will take a 7-point advantage into the halftime locker room.
Versus 12 for 30. That's a big, big difference, and that's why Penn State has the lead.
Penn State with the lead. Marshall with the basketball. One thing to watch in the second half, some fouls building up for the Nittany Lions, not so much for the Herd. And there's a turnover, something the Herd did a pretty good job of avoiding in the first half.
No doubt about that. They only had 4 turnovers in the first half. We said that they had to be under 13 to have a shot at the win, so they've accomplished that part of the situation so far. Penn State had 2 scorers with 10 points in the first half. Brandon Taylor and John Johnson. That's unusual.
Travis no good from deep, and a chance to run. Eagles wanted to dump it for Sine. A lot of contact in there. Let's take a look at how those keys to the game have played out, Bob.
Yeah, well, fine perimeter shots, 4 of 15. That's not great, but it's better than they have been. Fewer than 13 turnovers, very much under schedule right there. That's terrific. Only 4 in the first half. That's why this is a tight game.
Yeah, we talked about Newbill's offensive struggles, but Taylor's been quiet. Hasn't made a field goal for Marshall.
The two stars not shining, huh?
Not yet. It's cloudy. It's cloudy at Huntington. Trying to force the issue. Nothing doing. Here's Newbill.
Cross-court pass again, just like the first half. Different result.
Travis pounding the offensive glass. No good again. Dickerson over the back there. And how about the Nittany Lions' keys to the game?
Well, we wanted them to hit the offensive glass much better than they have, and they're +4, reasonable. The complimentary scorers, very, very good. Newbill has 4, the rest of the team 27. That's good news for Patrick Chambers. I believe that in the second half, Newbill will go off. He's had 5 games where he scored 20+, and the other 3 games were 17, 18, and 18. So 4 is way below his normal.
Edmonds can't get it to go. A lot of contact inside, but the whistles stay quiet. Not now. Foul's going to be on the youngster, Alexa Nikolic. To tie that shoe back up, he says he misses the food in his native Serbia. Not so much a fan of the American cuisine at this point, and he's going to need to eat some of it to beef up as he looks to add some strength here. Just a freshman.
Yeah, he's very thin. You can see his arms right there. They're long, but not much muscle on him. He'll be in the weight room, though.
Mid-range game is good for Taylor. There's been a lot of that from the Nittany Lions.
Taylor's taken 4 shots already in the second half. He averages 10 a game. He's got 12 already.
Edmonds lost the handle. The turnover bug coming back to bite the herd. Oh, great move by Newbill to the rim. It won't go, but a foul out front. Now he's elusive, Bob.
Pretty slick on that behind the back move, wasn't it? The last several games, this has been a pattern. 12 versus 34 in the second half. That, to me, is not surprising. When the game is on the line, he takes over.
Well, that is surprising to see him miss a free throw. He shoots him 78%. Missed them both, but he'll get it back. And Penn State hammering the offensive glass here. DJ Newbill with a pretty finish and a foul on the baseline. A chance for a three-point play.
Interestingly, on that play, Chris, when he was at the free throw line, there were only 3 players blocking out. Okay? 2 guys were long, and right here you can see him driving to the basket. Obviously, when there's a lane, he can take it hard. That was a tactical error by the Thundering Herd. They're doing it again. There's 2 guys very long, as if they're going to set up a long pass play down the court. But to no avail, really, here.
And the lead goes to double figures. A three-point play the old-fashioned way for Newbill. Taylor forcing one up. He still can't get it to go. And another rebound for Travis.
That was the play they ran for the dunk in the first half, but Penn State defended it much better this time.
Newbill had a flashing Dickerson. Instead, Travis, the senior captain. High post for Dickerson.
Dickerson's not an offensive threat.
This guy is. They'll leave it for Dickerson, and that's about his range, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah. Really, he should have gone up on the same side right there. Nice drive and dish right here. Newbill, powerful. Knows the lane right here. He gets hammered early.
Dickerson goes to the free throw line, just 5 for 11. Transfer from SMU. He played at IMG Academy. IMG Academy actually in town. They're playing a high school tournament downtown this weekend.
3 guys on the free throw lane right here. 2 Marshall players all the way at the other end of the floor, 94 feet away.
Dickerson makes the second. Boy, you better get your guy if it's going to be 3-on-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Taylor was bumped off his cut. Runs into a horde of Nittany Lions.
Nice outside defense.
7-foot brick wall in there, and Dickerson calls out another screen.
Ooh, boy, I'll tell you what, they are closing out well here.
Edmonds going to take it right into the teeth of the Nittany Lion defense. Nothing doing. Newbill the other way. Taylor waits for the cavalry, and Travis settles it down. Freshman Garner trapped in the corner. Good ball movement for the Nittany Lions. They go inside, and Taylor, I think, is going to get caught with his hand in the cookie jar that time on the big man.
It'll be an out-of-bounds situation, no free throws, so no harm done.
A newfound vigor defensively for Penn State here in half number 2, and it's really forced Marshall to dig deep trying to find some answers. They haven't found them yet.
No, they really haven't. The defense in the second part of the first half and the start of this half has been excellent for Patrick Chambers' team.
Yeah, another foul. Boy, after very few whistles against the Herd in the opening half, Penn State the aggressors here in the early going of half number 2, and it's paid off. What a 14-2 run by. Saw Taylor go to the bench holding his left knee.
Yeah, you kind of wonder about that, and as he went over there, I think it was at the offensive end that happened earlier.
Edmonds a foul, his 4th, and he's been a big part of Marshall's aggressiveness offensively. 4th. That won't fall. Donovan Jack in hot pursuit, but he can't get it. The Loop in transition, can't pull the trigger though.
Loop had a 3 early and then a 2 and has been invisible since. Former walk-on. This kid loves the bounce.
Cambola in the high post. There's that high floater. That time he finds the bottom of the net. Boy, a little pump of the fist from the youngster. Lead down to 10. That's his first of the year. First of his career from behind the arc. Boy, beautiful little bit of give and go offense from Penn State. Alexa feeling it, can't get it. Cambola pushes it up and in. So the pace is quickened a little bit here. Both teams a little more crisp offensively.
Alexa creates, makes the 3, and then he's responsible for that tip in too.
No good for Taylor.
Mini run we got here, Chris.
Trying to get it back to single digits. The thundering Herd with Tamron Manning. And he'll do it.
7.
How about Manning with just his second 3 of the season? A foul on the far side will draw a whistle. But this crowd has something to hoot and holler about. It's just a 7-point game.
In the nation, sometimes you have to coach around foul trouble, typically. But for them, they don't have to coach around foul trouble. I mean, he can just let it ride. Now here you see the 2 players, one in one corner, one in the other corner, all the way down the floor, which makes the Nittany Lions bring somebody down there. They have not done anything out of that, but that is a set play situation. Later in the game, we might expect a long pass there.
Nikolic is looking for Cambola all the way, but Cambola wasn't looking for Nikolic. Dan D'Antoni says throw that ball up in the air, let him go get it.
A little bit more pressure up court right now. I think it's time for DJ Newbill to get a shot or 2, or a drive to the basket.
Donovan Jack, former volleyball player, can't get it to go from point blank. Cambola and Loop in the corner, and now it's Alexa Nikolic. Tamron Manning, a lot of contact, and it falls for Tamron Manning. Oh, a high kiss off the window.
The post is open. Nobody in there. And when nobody's in, you can drive. Donovan Jack, a silly foul right here. Bodies the man as he's coming in. If you're going to foul him so he can't get the ball up. You'd foul a guy across his arms. I think that Penn State's in a very tenuous situation right now. They have the nation's third leading scorer on their team. He only has 4 points in this game, and he's not off. He's just not getting shots. He needs to have the ball in his hands, and when he is double and triple teamed, he will make plays for other players. Right now, I think he is not being used well.
We'll see if they can figure out how to push the on switch for DJ Newbill, and it's a fine line, isn't it? You don't want him to just go one-on-one, but the same token, when you're trying to integrate other folks into the offense and it's not working, at some point he's going to have to figure out a way to score.
Well, integration has to go out the window at some points, okay? And he's got to get shots because he hasn't. Now, they've done a good job on him. There's no doubt about that. But if they're going to double and triple team him, they should be able to get easy shots.
It's going to be a season-long issue for Penn State. This is not something that is going to go away when they pack up the bus for Happy Valley. As a foul deep in the corner. And we'll see the Nittany Lions already in the bonus here with 13:39 to play.
Well, Penn State opens the Big Ten thing December 31st at Wisconsin. Here's the trap in the corner. This is what the Thundering Herd is trying to do. They push you to the sideline, and when you get down there, they try to trap you. Unfortunately, one of the Cardinals' sins of trapping is to foul when you have a man trapped.
Missed the front end, so the Nittany Lions can't capitalize. Manning only played 1 minute against South Carolina, but he's been big here tonight. Nikolic a little floater, and it's well short. It's going to turn back over to Penn State. You can see the vision with this young man when the shot threat, the threat of scoring the basketball from the perimeter comes, he'll open up a whole new series of avenues for him on offense.
He's got great moves, and of course he watched that one by watching NBA films when he lived in Serbia, because a left-handed floater from 12 feet is not in his arsenal right now.
Well, the list of guys with that in the arsenal is fairly finite. Taylor's been picking up some offensive slack into the double team.
Too much traffic.
And they'll still get a bucket out of it.
Well, that was Johnson, the smallest guy on the floor, tipping the ball in.
Here's the other Johnson. He'll go hard to the rim. And one for Jay Johnson.
Jay's coming around. First year with the Herd. Feeling his way early. Feeling his oats now. Hard drive to the basket. Help is way too late. Dickerson is not a leaper, 7'1", but he's not a guy who's going to come from the weak side and swat shots away.
Another free throw miss for the Thundering Herd.
It's biting them, isn't it?
And John Johnson throws one up. The prayer not answered, but he'll go to the line. So it's been Johnson and Johnson and Johnson over the course of these three possessions. And a lot of standing around.
Well, this Johnson's the transfer from Pittsburgh, and he is clearly better in transition than he is in the half-court set. Marshall is 6 for 16 from the free throw line, and you've enumerated the woes there over the last several years for that team.
And when you're playing good defense, you're only down 7, and you're seeing all those points that you left at the charity stripe.
You lament it after the game, always.
That's not a good night's sleep. That was not a good-looking free throw. There was some bad karma in the air from those two free throw lines.
Yeah, John's pretty solid, 75%.
He gets that one. And the lead is back to 8, but the Herd just hanging around here. Just the second true road game of the year for Penn State. Nikolic will try one. Won't get the roll. Big rebound.
3-guard lineup right in here. We got Garner and Newbill, the starters, and Johnson's in. So Penn State is small.
Taylor took an extra step.
This is danger time. Taylor has got to do a job. He's the 4-man now at 6'6". So he's got to do a job on the defensive glass like he did on that last particular play.
Now they won't have a chance to, as you see him take a trip to Patrick Chambers' bench. Travis will be back in to play the 4 alongside the center Dickerson, and Newbill will get what will more than likely be his final rest of the night.
They rested him in Virginia Tech at the 8-minute mark in a tight game, and he came back fairly soon.
Was Manning drawing contact, can't get it to fall. Hustle rebound for Travis. 4th in the Big Ten the last 2 years in rebounding, and 4th in the Big Ten this year in rebounding.
Has not been a factor in this game.
Tipped away. It'll go to the Thundering Herd. Speaking of not being a factor, Ryan Taylor is going to inbound in backcourt, and Ryan Taylor still doesn't have a field goal.
That's amazing. Averages 16 a game.
The Herd have never defeated Penn State. 0-6 against the Nittany Lions. Nifty move to spring free, and there's your field goal for Ryan Taylor.
Tough stretch of games right now for Marshall. Home to South Carolina, SEC. Home to Penn State, Big Ten. And then a neutral site game against West Virginia, Big 12.
A 2-possession game here against the first Big Ten visitor to Huntington in 24 years. It was Penn State back in 91-92 as well. Wide open look for Johnson, not shy and no good. Jay Johnson, long lead pass. Here's Boykins, can't get it to go. Sine kept it alive briefly before Johnson handled it, but travels, and the Herd will maintain possession.
Well, the Thundering Herd crowd has been waiting for Mr. Taylor to...
Conference USA, and to rebuild a program here in his native state. They're in this game, 2-possession game. Nearly thrown away. It is thrown away. Collision. And it's going to go, I believe, against Marshall, and the ball should go to the Nittany Lions at will. Boykin's going to be the guilty party as John Johnson's still on the deck. Going after all that, you give it away on the inbound.
Well, you got to give the Nittany Lions credit. They really did a terrific job on the inbounds out of bound play. He feels like, he got hit in the ribs. Well, this is negotiation 101 right here.
1-1 and good. You can get the fastest scores and updates for Bucknell, Villanova, and all teams with the CBS Sports app, the fastest app for sports fans. Download the CBS Sports app now.
Villanova, one of the top teams in the country. You talk about a team that shares the basketball. That's what Dan would like his team to learn how to do.
Of course, Jay Wright, really a mentor to Patrick Chambers.
There you go.
Great feed for Sine. He has had trouble holding on to the basketball tonight.
When he's on the move, he has trouble catching. When he's in a set post position, doesn't seem to bother him quite as much.
Penn State trying to push this back to a double-digit lead.
Two-guard lineup with Newbill on the bench. They're trying to trap on the sideline. Be advisable to keep the ball in the middle part of the court.
And on the hedge, contact and a foul.
I think Johnson did a good job of drawing that foul. Taylor was just stepping out laterally. Johnson kind of collided into him to create the foul. Very nice.
A look at John Johnson, again, a transfer. He's out of Life Center Academy in New Jersey, same school that produced Deion Waiters. Had a great run at Syracuse. Yeah, gets the friendly bounce on that one. As for the polls, as Newbill checks back in, take a look by conference. And Penn State become the 7th Big Ten team in that poll with a win tonight. They've got Duquesne, George Washington, Drexel, and Dartmouth to come.
If they make that run, they'll be 12-1 entering their game with Wisconsin.
So they had to bring it down, and then he's knocked down. They'll have to earn him. The Big Ten did take one on the chops today. Michigan falling to New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Indeed.
Take a look.
Notice how he got that ball off very, very quickly. I think that was a pass. It looked like it was going to be a layup. I like when there's action around the rim. And Sheikh Sané has not been a great free throw shooter. So an educated play by Penn State there.
Just can't buy it. How about these results, Bob?
NJIT, Green Bay, and Miami. USC Upstate stings the Bees of Georgia Tech. tell you what, those were shocking. The Michigan one was the most shocking to me.
And a big one at the bottom of the Gamecocks, building off what they did here with a big win. 9-point lead for the Nittany Lions. It's in Newbill's hands, and off the ball, we're going to have a little extracurricular.
Incidentally, in that NJI...
The coach joked after the game. He said, we've been trying to get into the American East, but maybe we'll get in the Big Ten now. Ball stays with the Nittany Lions on the double team. Good hands in the passing lane that time from Cameron Manning. He's out of Georgetown, Kentucky. Huntington here right on the border of Ohio to the north, across the river, Kentucky to the west. And he just stepped over the back line. The official says no. And D'Antoni was all over it.
Look at this double team out front. Newbill cannot move without being...
Taylor couldn't get a catchable pass. Puts it on the deck instead, and he hits the deck.
Aggressive defense by Marshall right there. Yields some dividends for them.
Yeah, Penn State had the right idea. Dickerson reversing the basketball. Taylor couldn't hold on to it and get a shot. Ryan Taylor, yes! He's been waiting for that one.
Power personified. Shot it on the way down. Takes the hit. Keeps his head up. That is good stuff right there. And he knows it. The two stars have been taken out of this game for the most part. Taylor only 6 points, 6 boards. And on the other side, Newbill. Neither guy performing up to their own standard.
Can one of them step forward here in our final 9.5 minutes and lead their team to victory? 6-point game, 2-possession game. Good backcourt pressure here from the Herd. Newbill weaving his way, great feed, layup, good.
Man, he looked like a running back going through everything there.
Manning wants to drop it up, but Johnson knocks it out of bounds.
Newbill's got the herky-jerky thing going, doesn't he? And when he is in the open floor with the ball, he's by far the best passer on this team.
Inbounds for Johnson. A triple won't go. Offensive board for Boykins, taken away by Newbill. Here he comes, and there he goes. First the assist, and now the finish. The lead back to 10 on that turn of events. Little moments, Bob. Games are filled with these little moments where the hinge can swing one way or the other, as we'll get a foul down on the floor.
You talk about little moments. That was a pretty little call right there.
You mentioned Newbill, and you get a look at him there. He's strong. And herky-jerky, he is going to have great old man game. He's about 55 playing in the rec leagues. He has a way of finding space. He's going to have a long
career before that happens.
Well, I have a feeling he's going to be wearing a jersey for a long time. Another miss at the line, this time from Taylor. About 8 for 20 at the free throw line for the Thundering Herd.
That is anemic, and you're going to lose most games when you shoot that poorly from the free throw line. Although Penn State shot very poorly in their last game against Virginia Tech and still eked out a win.
A little perimeter bounce pass from Newbill. Taylor penned up. Boykins couldn't quite get the pass, and a great look for Donovan Jack. It's been Newbill on 3 consecutive possessions.
Assist, dunk.
Taylor trying to take over at the other end, and that's good. +1.
Stars are starting to shine, my friend. 8:23 to go in the game. Ryan Taylor is starting to feel it. He's going hard to his right, and if you just run alongside of him, forget it. He's going to get to the free throw line. You got to step in front, force him to dish. Hard drive. Notice how Travis is just on his side. He's too strong to go on the side of a guy.
Trying to convert the 3-point play. This time it's good. Taylor's come alive. Newbill has come alive and taken over. Boykins is charged with a very difficult task of keeping Newbill neutralized. Double comes to Taylor. Good hands that time by the Herd, going the other way. And it falls! It thought about coming out, and it stayed in for Tamron Manning, and the Herd loves it.
Excitement for the Thundering Herd. Huntington, West Virginia is alive.
They've turned it over nearly 17 times a game. See if they can keep that defensive pressure on, and what sort of answer does Newbill have? Thorpe. Now Taylor into a double team, and he throws it away again. It's Boykins. He's got help behind him. They'll challenge Newbill, and he'll go to the line. Here come the Herd.
We're going to see if Mr.
You're going to have to talk to him between now and the bowl game. Here's Boykins creating offense with the defense, and he knocks it down. And those made free throws, few and far between for Marshall tonight, but they trim it to a 6-point game.
What's helped right here is the trapping in the corner. Brandon Taylor, who's not a great ball handler, has turned it over 2 times in a row. And it would be advisable to not get him the ball in that situation. You got a 3-guard lineup in there with Thorpe and Newbill and Johnson. Those guys should be handling the ball 95% of the time. And this guy should be handling it 95% of that 95%.
I was told there'd be no math, Bob. I can't do those type of numbers. But here's Newbill. Boykins a nice little matchup size-wise with Newbill. They'll try it from distance. Won't go. Manning with the rebound. Taylor's been assertive offensively in this recent stretch, and here he comes.
He's just putting his head down and going. Defensive specialist on him. Thorpe.
Trailing by 5. Huge possession. Let's see what kind of look they can get in the half court. Backing in. A look for Boykins. Left it short. Sane trying to keep it alive. Can't do it. Johnson only has 1 speed, and he'll go to the line.
Well, in a clutch situation, and there's going to be more of them as we go down the stretch here, Marshall did not get a quality shot on that particular play. Johnson's hustle has been admirable in this game. At the defensive end, leading to runouts.
And DeVince Boykins took that 3 out of the corner. He's only taken a couple this year.
Yeah, and this shot that we're going to show you right here is not what you want. Good defense. Taylor decides to dish. He had a shot. That was challenged nicely and barely hit front rim. In clutch situations, the right guys have to be taking the right shots. Another great hustle play by Johnson.
Boy, that comes from that unique setup on the free throw lane, and it turns into 2 points for the Nittany Lions.
Exactly. And in a situation like that, you have to have 4 guys on the free throw line, so somebody's blocking out the shooter. 2-3 zone, first time today.
The second time that's cost him on the free throw line with an offensive putback for Penn State. They go to the zone without their best shooter, Luke, on the floor. They find the heart of it with Manning. Good look at it. And Taylor cleaning up the mess. He can't get it to go. And Brandon Taylor hustles into the corner for it. Hard foul.
A little bit out of control, but they bailed him out. He's crossing his arms because he wants an intentional foul, but that's not going to happen. Looks a little man-to-man the entire time, and Taylor was starting to get off on them. So a little change always is helpful.
And it comes against a unit for Marshall that did not have a lot of great shooters on the floor at that time.
Well, you know, I don't think that's why he did it. I mean, that can be a reason. But a lot of times when you change defenses, the other team just doesn't, they haven't been used to playing against it, so they just don't get a good shot. And that's exactly what happened.
Is that something you set up, say, hey, if he makes or when he makes these free throws, we're going to switch? Now, he didn't make the free throw, but they got the bucket. Guess we'll have to ask Patrick Chambers that question.
Well, Johnson's missing all kind of free throws right here.
Now the shooter Loop is back in the game.
This is a wide zone.
And that's a wide body getting the bucket to go. Jake Johnson's having a night.
Well, he starts playing like this, and Ryan Taylor starts playing his normal game. Low shoulder drive. Gets his body between the defensive player and the ball, which is what you want to do. Notice how the ball's way right. And he knocks Donovan Jack backwards.
4-point game now as a three-point play converted by the junior transfer from John Logan College, Jake Johnson. He has good size, strong, and he's nearly doubled his season average today. Crowd into it here at Cam Henderson Center.
Garner is in for Johnson. More level-headed player, even though he's a freshman. And a better free throw shooter.
Fourth the sophomore. Here's Taylor. They trapped him.
Listen to that crowd. You got to love it. This team has lost 4 straight, and they're here.
And a crowd silencing dagger from Brandon Taylor, who tells everybody to just hush a little bit.
Yeah, well, he better keep his mouth hushed because he's been turning the ball over.
Big block from Donovan Jack. He had 7 against the Herd last year. Here's Garner. They'll go to the line.
And Patrick Chambers made the substitution. Garner, a good free throw shooter, coming to the line now. And they were struggling at the other end until Mr. Brandon Taylor stepped up. Cross-court pass, wide open. Nice follow-through.
Brandon Taylor, a 29% three-point shooter on the year.
And there's a coach that knows what he's doing. Chambers substitutes Garner in the game. He knows that his guys are going to get fouled. Johnson comes out, who missed 4. Garner goes in, makes his.
Now Garner pretty much makes them all. Garner 13 of 14 now on the year. Shepard Arthur Garner III. He turns 19 today. They sang to him at breakfast.
19 today, really?
Yeah, 19 today. Cool. I thought you were getting the card. No?
I didn't know. Who knew?
Loop out of the corner, can't get it to go. And Johnson's right back to the rim. He'll earn his way, and I do mean earn his way to the free throw line. And Jake Johnson has really had an impact for Dan D'Antoni in this ball game.
Free throw shootings not so good. 5 for 18 and 6 for 21. I'll tell you what, that is not good free throw shooting by either team here, and that's been consistent for Marshall over the last couple of years. And of course, Penn State shot poorly in their last game against Virginia Tech from the free throw line.
That was moments ago. That man's team trimmed it to 4. Now it's at 9. You saw Chris Duhon alongside Dan D'Antoni.
9 years in the NBA, former Duke star. And on the other side, Mark Klein, who was a great player in high school in West Virginia, who had an illustrious career at Wake Forest.
No good again, too strong. Four and a half to play. And does the Herd have another run in him? Thorpe swallowed up by Cambola. That should go back to Marshall. As the senior, J.P. Cambola, he's out of Toronto. Ate him up.
No place to go for Thorpe. Little guy's not allowed.
Oh, we talked about Chris Duhon at Duke. J.P. Cambola's high school coach was another Duke. He was Sean McLeod.
There you go.
Coached him in high school. Dribble entry on the right side for Manning.
Johnson's on this side, on the weak side, ready to go.
Boy, Thorpe, great job as the smaller player to come around and tip that ball away.
He's on D, that's why he's in.
Trying to trap Garner. He dribbles out of it. Thorpe lays it up and in. Boy, that was created by the freshman Shep Garner. Lead back to 11 now. for the Nittany Lions. Mikulic's floater good.
Thorpe's freelancing a little too much defensively there. He took a gamble and they made him pay.
Patrick Chambers will put the ball in the hands of his true freshman, Shep Garner.
Good free throw shooter. Made them down the stretch against Virginia Tech in the last game, so he's feeling confident. Wise to have him in the game.
His teammates say he doesn't play like a true freshman. And a little foul out front by Jay Johnson on Travis, who's 1 for 14 at the free throw line. They've been going back and forth here in Huntington.
Here's about even, turnovers even, so we've got an even game. What's also even is the mediocrity from the free throw line for both teams right here. 1 for 15 now on the year. This man's a very good rebounder, but allergic to the free throw line.
He makes 1 out of 2, and he's now 2 for 16. Oddly, 9 of 11 from the stripe against Marshall a year ago, and he has that mid-range game, but not falling for it. Back to a 10-point bulge, though, for the Nittany Lions. Manning, tough shot, got it. Little step back that time for Tameron Manning. And here's the freshman Garner. There's Travis on the perimeter. Newbill yet to touch it on this possession as we go into 3 minutes. That one nearly hit the water cooler. Travis saved it.
You're right. Newbill should be touching the basketball.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Garner to Thorpe. Thorpe blocked from behind by Luke. There's Newbill, but it's too late. 36 seconds too late before he touched it.
I tell you, I got to take umbrage with that possession. I think Patrick Chambers should call timeout and introduce his team to the...
Not necessarily enthused by that. And Luke's going to have to check out as they stop the bleeding on what looks to be the lip. Wide open look from Manning. He got it! Tameron Manning. 5-point game.
Where did that come from?
1 for 7 from deep entering this game.
Tameron Manning feels that his coach has confidence in him. Xavier has a freshman named Blewett who is one of the best in the Big East. He's having a great year. I like the fact that Newbill has the basketball. Can you tell?
I think Chambers likes the fact, too. Taylor, wild running shot, no good. And a leak out. Mikulic flushes it down.
3-point game.
Justin Edmonds with 4 fouls. Newbill winds into the paint. Finding space and it won't fall. He'll go to the line.
Finally, the right guy getting the shot. Brandon Taylor takes an ill-advised shot. Nobody back. Alexa, nicely done. And then at the other end right here, you can see the pass. He just runs over it. Newbill at the line. He took control in the last possession. The 2 possessions before that, they got nothing clean.
In the meantime, Marshall's made their last 4 field goals. It'll be a 2-possession game no matter the result of this attempt by DJ Newbill.
Good numbers on the year. He has scored very little in the half-court set. Most of his stuff has been in fast break situations. Minute 28 to go. 5-point game.
Foul will be charged to DJ Newbill.
Thorpe is a guy who's in the game, number 13, for defensive purposes. Johnson, number 1, is back in for offensive purposes. So the Nittany Lion juggling guys, offense, defense here. And this Johnson has been fantastic in this game. Jay.
Now 2 for 5 at the stripe to make it a 4-point game.
Garner in to steady things down. Travis out because he can't shoot free throws.
Didn't shoot that one like a guy who shoots 38%.
Defying. Coming around, first year in Division I.
Newbill lost it out of bounds.
Penn State has been in close games this year. Penn State last year, they were in 8 games decided on the last possession. They lost 5-1-3. This year, they have been in 3 close games where it was decided one-possession games. They've won all 3.
Johnson has been the offensive leader. He'll go right at Taylor. No good, but he'll go to the line. Boy, this place would have erupted had that one gone down. You'll note the Herd do not have Ryan Taylor on the floor. There with 1:12 to play, down 3.
That's very interesting. Johnson's been the man for them. Penn State beat Cornell 72-71. They beat Southern California 63-61. And they beat Virginia Tech 61-58. So they've been in tight games, and this is tight as it gets.
And the Herd tightening up at the line.
How about this free throw shooting by this guy? Coming of age, huh? First year in Division I, struggled early, finding his way. Breakout game for Jay Johnson.
Got them both. It's a 1-point game. And they've got Johnson to inbound. Just a freshman. We got a timeout. Patrick Chambers wants to talk about it. And the last 61 seconds of this one. Now let's take a look at tonight's Reese's perfect play.
Marshall put, especially when he catches the ball on the sideline in the corner. He's been trapped and turned it over several times.
Now if you tuned in looking for Xavier, Alabama, they've tipped off in the Queen City. We'll get you there at the end of this thriller in Huntington. Newbill with it. No surprise. Mid-range game won't go. Donovan Jack tips it in.
That's the volleyball jumping we've seen. But that's what we need from Newbill. He's the guy who has to take the shot.
Johnson taking some big shots tonight. He'll take a long one here. For the tie, no good. Rebound again to Donovan Jack.
Boy, he's showing up late, huh? He's been invisible the whole game. But the tip in by Donovan Jack really gives him some breathing room.
The foul was on Justin Edmonds, and that'll be it for him. That's 5. Nice lefty stroke for the big man there.
57% free throw shooter, knocks it in. Edmonds in his first start.
2-possession game, and he gets them both 2 big free throws in.
Let me tell you something. The experience of Penn State's players both last year and this in playing in close games has really done well for them. It was a 1-point game. Now it's 5.
Nikolic to Manny. Spins. Have to get a shot. Luke can't spring free. Manning. Cambola with the screen. That won't go. And a foul is called.
It's going to be on Travis inside, fighting for position. Jay Johnson again involved. Anthony Grant's Alabama team, they execute.
The 18th point of the night for Johnson. 6 for 9 at the line.
Breakout game for Johnson. with him and Taylor together, if they can get them both playing well at the same time, that's going to be big stuff for them going into Conference USA. And of course, they've got West Virginia next, which is no picnic either.
So a 3-point game and another timeout on the floor here.
Well, Wright is going to touch the basketball.
The inbounder will be John Johnson. Looking for somebody, and he found Thorpe, the sophomore. They can't get the foul, and now it's Shep Garner. Got to foul him, and they do. And Garner, the best free throw shooter for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Well, they should have fouled Thorpe. He's also a pretty good free throw shooter, but he doesn't have a history of making them late like Garner does. Good job by Chambers getting the guards and the good free throw shooters on the touches.
Big shot here for Garner. And he makes the first calmly, trying to move the Nittany Lions to 8-1, and some winnable games upcoming. They'll be at home for the next 4.
Well, George Washington's going to be tough, and if they win all of them, they'll be 12-1 going into Big Ten Conference play. That would be big for them.
At Wisconsin. Great way to start. Here comes the herd. Nikolic gets all the way to the rim. He'll lay it up and in. Just over 5 ticks remaining. 2-point game.
Too easy. Way too easy. They just let him slide in.
Reminder will be ball.
Same thing. This time they're not guarding the inbounder. They're 5 against 4 on the inbound. They're trying to get a 5-second count that way.
They get it to Newbill. Instead, he's fouled immediately. It's a 3.7. Newbill to the line.
They made a mistake on the last inbound situation. We had 2 situations exactly the same. The first time they let 7 seconds go off the clock before they fouled. That was a mistake. This time they fouled immediately, of course, which they have to. 78% on the year. Tonight, 5 out of 7. 15 points, and it seems like he hasn't even been here, right? We're so used to him in the 20s.
There's 9 below his season average, but a big one there for number 16. It's a 3-point game. And Dan D'Antoni will chat about strategy here. 4-point game. Boykins.
No foul.
Taylor throws it up. That's no good. And this one is in the books, and it belongs to the Penn State Nittany Lions. Now 7-0 all time against the Marshall Thundering Herd.